Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, managing editor of Canada's Entrepreneur. Joining me today is Kingsley Ma, who is area vice president of Remax Canada. Thanks for joining us today, Kingsley.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're going to talk about a report that you folks have. It's the 2025 luxury report on the housing market in Canada. In general, what stood out for you Canada-wide when it comes to the luxury market in this country?
Well, at the beginning of the year, actually, so far this year is twofold. At the beginning of the year, especially the first month or month and a half or so, the luxury market actually picked up significantly compared to 2024. In fact, on our report, 9 out of 12 marketplace that we did the survey on has a increase in terms of the luxury market. Saying that, not so much in the greater Vancouver area, not greater Toronto area, because of the basically due to the price point, because we consider, over $3 million as a luxury for those both of those markets. However, the other markets, the other nine, it's for example, Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa, Halifax, they did have a significant pickup, and leading the way is actually Montreal with an increase of 78%, which is incredible, and Saskatoon was over 100% in terms of luxury increase. And when I said twofold at the beginning, obviously we have, the situation has changed a little bit with the tariff situation. This creates an uncertainty for consumers, even though I still strongly believe there's a lot of buyers looking into, purchasing a luxury home. But because of this uncertainty, they've put a pause on making any purchases.
Yeah, yeah. What about what's happening with prices these days in that kind of high level area of the real estate market?
Prices now, since the tariffs has been announced, they've been, pretty balanced. I wouldn't say, people are expecting a decrease or something like that, but in fact, it's in the luxury space because sellers are not in a desperate situation where they have to sell. So because they have the power to hold, right? In the luxury space. So the market itself has been pretty steady in terms of price point. It hasn't really dropped or anything like that. It's just more stagnant, I guess, overall.
Okay. And what about inventory in that high level market? What's that like these days?
There's a little bit more pickup in terms of inventory, because sellers are, because last year there really hasn't been a lot of luxury transactions. Sellers are looking to sell, so their inventory has gone up a little bit, especially, for example, Calgary, Edmonton, and Saskatoon, in those areas where the price point's a little lower. People are looking to sell. Saying that, I mean, if the tariff situation continues, I would think some of the people that are looking to sell will take the listing off the market and might as well just wait until the market picks up and then put it back on sale again.
Yeah, and you mentioned the tariff situation. And I'm just curious, we all know that, for consumers and potential home buyers, uncertainty is not a good thing, right? And
No.
so we have the uncertainty of the tariffs, we have the uncertainty of a federal election that we're in right now. Uh, you know, uh, does it hit this part of the market more than say the normal market? And I mean, the sort of the average homes, when you have that level of uncertainty, because there's more obviously investment that you're putting in.
Right. It does hit a little bit more on the luxury side, the uncertainty, because when you look at, housing that's outside of the luxury, especially the condo or the lower price point inventory that we have, when people need to move, they still need to move, right? Especially first-time home buyers or people that are starting a family. Those people, those, consumers, and they need to buy, they need to buy. So there's always going to be some more activity on that price point versus luxury. It's not a mandatory situation where I need to buy a luxury home today, right? So the uncertainty does take a little bit more hit in the luxury market space versus the average home out there in
Mhm.
Canada.
Okay, what are you expecting for the rest of the year, Kinsley, for this market?
Well, it's really hard to speculate because we don't even know what the world's going to be like even a month or two from now, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully, good or bad, one way or the other. If the tariffs are really happening or they're canceling it, or when the election's over, it gives a little bit more confidence, or for people, for consumers to at least plan ahead, right? Once the final decisions are made on both fronts, both situations that we're looking at. So, people like I mentioned earlier in the call, there are consumers that are really looking to buy because of last 2 years of interest rates high. There
Yeah.
is motivation to buy. They just need to know how they plan ahead to buy. I
Mhm.
think that's where it is.
Yeah.
That's what the speculation would be.
Okay, super. Thanks so much, Kingsley, for joining us today.
You're welcome. Good to be here. Thank you.
All right, that was Kingsley Ma, who is Area Vice President for Remax Canada. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, Managing Editor of Canada's Entrepreneur. Thanks for joining us today.